Hello out there, comic book lovers. It is Friday. So, that means I'm doing my Friday night reviews. I am going to take three comics from the previous Wednesday, so the three, what I thought were the best, and do a review of them. And then I'm going to take the one that I liked the least. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, but it's the one that I liked the least. And check it out. And here we go with my number two book for the week. Again, it was a toss-up. I had to decide which one I wanted to be number two, which one I wanted to be number one. Number two is My Blind Buy. It is a book where I'd heard of the title before, but I'd never read it before, and they're not revamping, but they're restarting it, and it says, hey, good starting off point if you haven't read this stuff before. DC Black Label, American Vampire 1976 by Scott Snyder, and what is his name? Sorry, it's going to flare here for a second. Raphael Albuquerque. Right. I am a big fan of horror comics. And I'd heard of American Vampire before. I like Scott Snyder stuff. Most of the time he does good things. Every once in a while he doesn't. I'm not a big fan of his death metal stuff that he's been doing lately. But I've heard good things about his death metal, his American Vampire. So, boom. American Vampire 1976. This is the variant cover. So, we have the titular character, and I tried to look his name up in the book. I got it when I read it, but I can't remember what it is. I know his last name is Skinner. Right here, Skinner Sweet. Now, from what I've read in the book, it's supposed to be a new starting point where you can come in. He used to be a vampire. He's 200 years old. He is not anymore. He lives in a trailer car, which he and some other people stole from the back of a train back in the day in the 1800s. That is the place that he lives. Now he's making money as a marksman, what do you call it? A motorcycle trickster, and the people he works for are a bunch of racist bastards, which causes him to have issues with them. And a little bit later, a former compatriot of his comes up to him and says, hey, look, President Ford, because this does take place in 1976, is sending a train across country with some really important American relics from history. We need you to steal a train car, just steam train car, and this way it can help you get back to becoming the vampire you wanted to be, because we know you've been trying to get back to being immortal. Awesome story. This is something that Scott Snyder has done well. It is a nice introduction to a story for those of us like me who have never read this stuff before. So it says, all right, this guy was a vampire. He's not anymore. He wants to become one. He was a I don't want to say a thief, but he was a hoodlum back in the day. He stole stuff. His compatriots are like, all right, boom, there's these murders going on. We need your help. Awesome. So it's filling in all this information that someone like me who doesn't know needs to know, but it's not going super full of details to bore the people who know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? This is a perfect balance. It doesn't bore the people who have read it before, but it feeds information to people who haven't. And I have to tell you, I am really going to enjoy this series. I've read the first one. It was fun. You have vampire killers, and you have ex-vampires who are trying to solve the same mystery. You have incredible art by Rafael Albuquerque. I mentioned that before. And if you are a Scott Snyder fan, if you're a horror fan, you really need to pick this up, because it is a really good story. It is the second book that I've read this week. The second best book that I read this week. And it's not just that it's Halloween time, because I like a good vampire story no matter what time of year it is. But Scott Snyder, American Vampire, 1976. I'm going to give this a 4.0 out of 5. And bam, read it, because Scott Snyder is awesome.